Hello everyone. After leadership and the styles of leadership, our unit number 4 part 2 is the what are the theories applicable in the leadership. Okay, so let's start what are the theories are considered in these leadership styles. Okay. So, behavioral theories out of the three variable affecting the leadership, first one the characteristics of leader, second one the characteristics of follower, third one the situation under which the leadership is exercised and determined, and the effectiveness of the leadership. There are the main three variables of the any leadership styles are considered. First one, what are the characteristics of leader? Second one, what are the characteristics of follower? Third one, what is the situation under which there are the leadership exercise? Like take the example, if there are, we can say, in emergency and the contingency situation find that in organization, then they have to be consider the autocratic leadership style, right? So in which situation this leadership style is considered, according to that there are the various type of behavioral theories are considered. Various research studies in the organizational behavior on the leadership and the motivation have been conducted so far. In fact, these areas is remained as the area of continuous and the ongoing research studies. Various research findings of this animate social and the psychologist is provide the guidance and the good guidance for exercise this effective leadership. So there are the various theories are considered that how can you easily applicable any leadership style in your organization. So here there are the mainly three types of this behavioral theory. First one is the Fiddler model, second one is the LMX theory, and the last one is the path goal theory. So these three theories are very important regarding the leadership style. So let's start. First theory is the Fiddler theory. Fiddler theory is developed by Fred E. Fiddler in 1967 in his book A Theory of Effective Leadership. In his highlight, they have to instant that considering the leadership in the isolation, it should be considered to be a context of the situation. So according to situation, you have to change your leadership style. It is the first comprehensive contingency model of the leadership. So, the effective leadership is largely depend on the integration of three aspects. First one, the ability of leader. So, what type of skills and knowledge has been that leader have to be in the organization. Second one is a positive approach of the follower. Sometimes we can say that leader have the higher ability, but followers cannot be considered their style. So, it's always consider the negative approach. It's create the negative impact on the leadership style. Okay, so always create the positive approach as the follower. Then third one, the situation under which the leader leads to followers. So different situation have the different type of contingency and different type of, we can say, circumstances. In which circumstances leaders leads to followers, it's create a new theory. So this Fiddler's leadership model is also described as the situational leadership or the contingency approach to the leadership. Sometime in examination, they have to ask in the twisted form that write the contingency approach of the leadership. Then you should write the Fiddler theory. Okay, so you cannot confuse at that time because the second name of this theory is the contingency approach to leadership. As the Fiddler situation leadership, effective group performs a largely depend on the solid matching between the leader's leadership style and the favorable to the controllable situation by the leader. Because according to the leader's point of view and leader's standard, they have to follow the favorable situation, whatever the given by the follower. The leader's style. This theory is based on the assumption that every leadership style have to contingent upon the assumed similarly between the opposites, means ASO and LPC score. LPC is means least preferred co-worker score. So SOS ASO is refers to assume the identicalness of in opposite situation, and LPC refers to the co-worker by the leader. So LPC is classified into the two categories. First category is the high LPC, means wherein the leader member bond in the relationship oriented between the leader and the member. Have the relationship oriented means good relationship and good bond between the leader and member in the organization. Under this style, there tends to be a warm relationship between the leader and the follower. So it's built a good relation to the leader and manage the conflicts, whatever the conflicts are getting in the organization, they can easily solve this. It's given a more important for the human relation. High LPC is very important for the organization, so it's create a good impact in the organization and create the high efficiency. If there are the low LPC wherein the leader member bond is task oriented, under this style leader organizes the team group and completing the project assignment is give the more importance to task performance. In the first they do more importance on the human relation. In the second, low LPC have to higher focus on the task performance. Then after, the situation. The other aspect of this theory is the situation analysis in the terms of favorable and unfavorable situation. The situation analysis is made for the following basis. First one is the leader-member relation. It considers how much trust of the team members have to on the leader. High degree of the trust is considered as the favorable situation and the low degree trust is considered as the unfavorable relation between the leader and the member. Second one is a task structure. The clear-cut task relation and the role of this clarity is a simple organizational structure is result into the favorable situation. The complex organization structure will be ambiguity, the role of the goal turns into situation unfavorable. So according to task, there have to be a clear-cut relationship between the clarity and the simple form of this task structure. Third one, the position of the power of the leaders. There are the different sources of power of the leader. There are the internal like the chemistry personality and expert power is stemming to from the knowledge, and there are the external power like the legitimacy power, reward power, dependency power. This all power you have to learn in the next video lecture regarding the power and politics video lecture. Okay. So the strong position of leader is create the favorable situation, is unable to leader to lead the group effectively and efficiently. Okay. So power of the leader is also considered the lead the organization. Then after, the managerial implication of this Fiddler theory, in which style organization can implement this theory. So first one, if ASO and LPC score is high, then the human relation leadership style be preferred and there is a rating are low. So this task structure relations type sound be used. Nowadays they have to consider as a task structure leadership. Second one, the leadership tends to be strongest under the high LPC score and the most favorable situation. Third one, in the two extreme situation, most favorable and most unfavorable situation, the formal authority structure is proves the helpful in the effective leadership. So for the effective leadership style, this is a very important theory. Fourth one, in the case of task oriented and the unfavorable situation, the decision making leads to be a prover, the superior and the non-decision making leader. Sometimes it's create that if there are the unfavorable results are considered and the task oriented situation, then leader cannot get the any opinion from the we can say their followers and members. So it's sometimes create the non-decision making leader. Fifth one, if the organization structure is more formal and the authority of the leaders is to be a substantial, then under this situation the leader proves to be a most successful leader. If this theory is very applicable then and then. Sixth one, for the effective leader, this model focus on the following. First one, intelligent and the smart leader. It matches the leadership to desired behavior of the follower and thus is enabled him to generate the excellence result. So intelligent and smart leaders are required for this theory. Second one, under the excessive stress situation, there is a direct relationship between the experience and the outcome and effort. If there are the stress situation is considered, then if a director or we can say that leader have the higher experience, then it's a direct relationship created between the experience and output. Higher experience has to create the higher output. Then under the non-stress situation, there is a direct relationship between the intelligent and the leader smartness of this group. Then after, second theory is the LMX theory. The full form of LMX is the leader member exchange theory. So LMX theory, as the name suggests, that's leader member exchange theory. It was developed during 1970. There are the powerful tool for the leadership and the motivation. It was developed by the Grain. This theory is based on the common informal observation of the leader's action are not same toward the all subordinate. So it believes that leadership act as the follower are based on the number of dyadic relations that like the leaders and the followers. The quality of relationship between these two, L means leader and the member, is reflected by the degree of mutual understanding, loyalty, support, respect and the obligation. So this theory is known as the vertical drive linkage theory. If in the examination they cannot directly ask to you write about the LMX theory, they can also write about the vertical drive linkage theory. So in this term you have to we can say prepare about it, that LMX theory. In the term of degree of the mutual trust as prescribed by the leader, the members are classified into the two groups. In the group with the higher mutual trust, and second one is the output group with the lower mutual trust. Generally, in this classification, they have to made on the 7 scale assessment of each member made by the leader. Leader can, we can say, doing the analysis and doing the members assessment on the basis of 7 scale. Then what is the definition? Leader member exchange theory is a process that explores how the leaders and followers develop the relationship that can either contribute to growth or the hinder the personal development. Then there are the characteristics of this LMX theory. It considered as the robust explanatory theory based on the two parties directly or dealing with each other. So it's create the leader member theory. Second one, it's focused more on the importance of the external communication in the leadership rather than the internal perception and the inference. So thus the facility is exchange benefit ideas. Third one, it's superior to lead other theories, leadership and motivation, because there are the partially valid which bring the attitude and the change in the behavior of the person, because according to this we can say behavior, this theory can change. Okay. Then what are the process of this LMX theory? So first one is a role making, role taking, role making and routinizations. So first one is the role taking. This is the first stage. It occurs when the new member is joined the team. So its ability is initially assessed by the leader. In the first step, if any member is new in the team, then leader can analyze their quality, skills and knowledge. Then they have to give them the role. So role making, second one. Under this process, a special role is created for the new member. The other relevant things are that the mutual trust is created between the leader and the new member. On this basis of spontaneous relationship is created between the leader and the new member, and the member is classified into the following groups. There are the in-group and out-group. There are the two groups, in-group and out-group. Generally, such classification is made by the leader on the basis of perceived similarities on oneness in the new mental approach. So, the member is perceived by the leader as in the group member are trusted by the leader and thus is received the high risk class task and the penalty of the opportunity for the career development and ongoing support and the continuously guidance. If member is considered as the in-group member, then leader provide the higher facility to them. Then also provided the, we can say, personality development programs so they can easily develop their careers. Employees falling in, if the employee is falling in the out group, then the leader will not have the high level trust on him and thus they will not expose the high level opportunity for the career and the skill development to them. Then however the leader should be stressed to get the best in him teamwork through the various tactic and the eventually to provide him the room or for the becoming a member of in group. So sometimes it's also provided the opportunity to create from out group to in group member. If he or she working in the in group, then he or she get the higher benefits for the personality development and for the personal development, right? Then third step regarding this LMX theory is the routinization. Under this process, routinization norms and the expectation from the each other is a point of view are established. Both parties, leaders and the followers get the insight into how to work together. So generally, the mutual adjustment are made without the prejudice and reservation with the open-mindedness. So it's considered as the LMX theory explained as under this theory they have to be not created any prejudice or not created any favoritism. They have to consider the people on the basis of their skills and knowledge. So it's considered as an open-minded theory. First one is a followers and leader, and it's create the dynamic relationship between the followers and leaders. Okay, so this is the last stage regarding the LMX theory. Then after dealing with the outgroup member, if a person in working in the outgroup, how the person and how the leader dealing with him. In this LMX theory, in-group member have the high degree of mental matching and the good equation with the leader. The problem in the how deal with the out group member who is generally do not confirm the management styles of the leader. So generally out group member and the borderline member should be handled very carefully because they are brought within the we can say circumstance and in the group member. So generally following sub process are created for the handling the out group members. So first one is the identify out group member. What are the identity of this? So these down names such as the outgroup member, they have to find the reason why they have to fall in this favor, and also study whether they have to be exhibit the bad behavior at the work. Also try to study wherever they have to incomplete and why they have the low motivation. So think about these strategies and bring them back to the real target performance. So first of all, leader identify that outgroup members if they have to be not doing the good behavior in the organization, if they cannot fulfill the task whatever given by the leader. So they all are considered as the outgroup member. Second one is a re-establishment of relationship. Meet each member one-to-one basis and eliminate the wrong noises and non-notices and the misunderstanding and the bias about the co-workers, superiors and management. Then the human motivation theory should be kept while motivating them, like you study in the unit number 2 regarding the motivation theories, right? So they have to kept according to that and they have to given the motivation to them. Then third one is a providing the training to make aware about the development opportunity. So outgroup member can develop and their attitude can be changed through the mentoring and coaching. So thus the slowly and attaining the maturity of the understanding, they are gradually fall in the group member. So they leader always try to create in group member. Okay, they always try to convert out group member to in group member. So we can say develop our organization effectively. What are the advantages and disadvantages of this LMX theory? So first one is foster understanding, thus is prevent the unconscious biases and both leader and member. Here we can reduce the biasness and favoritism between the labor and the member and the leader. Second one is develop the mutual trust and confidence in the leader and the member. Third one, it enhance the commitment toward the job and business. Fourth one, it's increase the productivity, job satisfaction and morale. Fifth one, it's useful, effective and the open communication. It's develop the rational and the meaningful behavior. So it will be reduce the misbehavior in the organization. Sixth one is a foster the respect and the recognition among the organization members. Seventh one, it's develop the team spirit among the member because it's create the good relationship between between the leader and member. So it's create the good team spirit. Then the high degree of the understanding and facilitate to coordination among the activity and conducted by the member. Then what are the criticism of this LMX theory? First one, LMX theory is fails to explain the particular that how high quality exchange are created. You cannot identify that what type of qualities are created in the group members. Second one, it is criticized on the ground of the fairness, justice because the human behavior is guided by the several factors and the consideration. So it sometimes created the ground for the fairness and justice basis. Third one, the behavior pattern of this in-place and out-place member are totally different. Fourth one, there are the chance of the variation in the behavior pattern, especially in the outgroup, because outgroup member cannot consider any advantages. So sometimes it create the misbehavior in the organization. Last theory is the path goal theory. A path is the way to reach the destination or goal. So as the goal is defined but way to reach to the goal is unfamiliar or unknown, so efficiency and effectiveness of reaching the goal is achieving the defined objective in the organization is set up by mostly depend on the leader. So its goal is the path goal theory, means goal achieve. If you not clear about your path, you cannot achieve your goal, right? So that's why it's called the path goal theory. So there are the mainly two bases on this basis you can find out your path. First one, there are the internal initiative appeals to the smart person. Example, follower has to conceive by the leader. Second one, external guidance for the leader who have to similar with the path of course of action. So path goal theory is highlighting the need of interactive relation between the leader and the follower, and thus it is considered as the most influential approach to the situation leadership style. Then this theory was developed by the Martin Evans and the Robert House in their research paper on the organizational human performance is published in 1970. So this path goal theory is important for the management and the literature because it's important for the explanation, the situation and the leadership to practical applies for the leaders and motivated the followers. So this path is familiar to leader and the effective leader can clarify the characteristics in case of any instance of this desired by the followers. So the goal is outcome or expected result become the basis of reward. So thus under this path goal theory, leaders proves to be a critical factor and making a more easier and faster toward the goal, explaining the showing why this type of making some easier way so we can achieve the right we can say goal and reduce the problems difficulties. Moreover, this along this require guidance, the leader proves the necessary information support for this resource need to be achieve the goal. So this path goal theory is emphasized on the role leader and achieving the goal by the follower either in the individual or the group. So different phases for the leadership behavior and its link to the privileged situation. So there are the variables are considered regarding this. Leadership and situation, leadership behavior or the leadership system. So there are the sub-classified as under. First one is the directive leader, supportive leader and the participative leader. A leader is a simplified direct the follower and the regards to expect them and provides the general specific guidance and achieve the goals. So here is the followers can organize their work to prepare the schedule and the priority to set. So thus is called as the directive leader. Then supportive leader. The leader is behave like the friend and guide in the case of need. So it's provided as a support but impose the compensation and the follower and participate is a simply seek by the guidance in the informal way in the friendly manner. So it's called as a supportive leader. Third one is a participative leader. Under this behavior or the style, leaders allow the participation which is determine the goals and target. So the presentation by the followers considers as a suggestive and the recommendedly whatever the suggestion given by the them. So recommendations are also considered and the ultimately result are made by the leader. So here participation of the leaders members are also considered, so it's called as a participative leader. Then the achievement oriented leader. Under these styles of the leadership, leader is a higher challenging goal or the follower's purpose to the develop the skills, ability and followers. So he boosts up the confidence for the followers, making them aware about their potentialities. So thus is a leader is motivated follower by the best of them. So it's called as a achievement oriented leader. Then after second variable is a situation variable. So the second aspect of this path goal theory is the next to leadership behavior style situation variable. So situation is the one type of, we can say, created the sub classification into the two category. First category is the environmental related situation. The leader has the no control over the environment, so it's called as a no control related situation. First one is a task structure. The task structure related nature of the job wherein the structure are or well defined in the unstructured ambiguous. Second one is a formal authority system. It's related to the degree and the formal authority delegated to the leader. So this aspect is unable to leader to influence the behavior of the follower. Third one is a work group. It's related to the formation of the team, group and the formal exercise of these assignments. Then subordinate related situation, it's considered the critical characteristics of the subordinate where who lead to the leader. So they are considered as subcategorized as under locus of control. The locus of control is related to the factor that leads to success or failure. There further is classified into the internal locus of control, which means the subordinate has control on the situation and he is able to use this success. Then external locus of control means the situation control the workers. So the subordinate is not in a position to tune his requirement. So locus of control is considered as external and internal according to basis of leader's skills. Second one is the willingness to accept the influence of the others. So it's indicate the degree of the willingness, unwillingness or the subordinate to accept the influence of the other, the leaders as well as the co-workers. Then third one is a privileged ability to sufficient experiment. So subordinate must have the confidence that he or she will be complete the assignment and the sufficiently experiences too. Last topic is the managerial implication of this path goal theory. The appropriate matching between the leadership style and the situation variable like the environment related, employees related will be lead the maximum output. Second one, the leader can appropriate leadership style is influenced to be a perception and result behavior follower also be a motivating factor enhance his willingness to work. Here leader have to try to doing this type of work, then subordinate can do their work with the effectiveness. Third one is enable to leader to use the appropriate leadership style and balancing the environment related situation and subordinate related situation. So they have to try to balancing both leadership and the environmental situation. Fourth one, selection the appropriate leadership can be compensate for the employee's deficiency or the work setting. Fifth one is supporting the leadership style is most positive impact for the follower who are engaged in the stressful situation, frustrating and dissatisfying. If a leader gave the higher power and the higher, we can say, potentiality and motivation, then they can easily get their result. Then in case of ego involving tasks, non-repetitive type of creative tasks, then participative leaders proves the more useful task. Seventh and the last one, the achievement oriented leadership style is a work using as a case of ambiguously structured task and the confidence about the reward system linked with the performance. So it's a very important type of path goal theory. Through this theory, leader can achieve their targets in the organizations. Okay. So thank you very much. Here we completed the second part regarding the unit number 4, leadership styles. Okay, and in the leadership style, we today we discuss about the leadership styles theory, path goal theory, Fiddler theory, and we have learned that how we can consume this type of theory so we can achieve the result. First one is the Fiddler theory, LMX theory, and the path goal theory. If you have any query regarding this theory, you can contact me anytime. Thank you very much, and after watching this video you should learn from your textbook. If you have any query, you can contact me. Thank you very much.